Welcome to Japan, Mr. Bond.
Mr. Bond, you only live twice.
The car is waiting. You've disappointed me.
But why?
You're not capable of being the agent of an actress of my stature.
I've made a wonderful career for you, my dear.
No, my success has made you a wonderful career.
If you will remember...
I'll remember this. Without my influence, we would not be on our way to this screening.
I could have arranged...
You? No, I had to do it. Just another example of your bungling.
Your last 3 pictures...
Forget those. This is the important one. James Bond marrying me.
But the producers told me they have other plans.
Their plans? My plans are that I am to be the first wife of James Bond.
I'm trying.
Not hard enough. I want him.
Together, these two people are concentrating all their energies and resources on setting a trap for one man. This man is James Bond.
What do you know about gold, Moneypenny?
Oh, the only gold I know about is the kind you wear. You know, on the 3rd finger of your left hand.
Well, one of these days, we really must look into that.
Well, what about tonight? You come around for dinner, and I'll cook you a beautiful angel cake.
Well, nothing would give me greater pleasure, but unfortunately, I do have a business appointment.
That's the flimsiest excuse you've ever given me. Oh, well, some girls have all the luck. Who is she, James?
She is me, Miss Moneypenny. And kindly omit the customary byplay with 007. He's dining with me, and I don't want him to be late.
So there's hope for me yet. Poor girl. Looks like there's no hope for you now.
What do you mean there's no hope for me now?
Well, haven't you heard? Your lover boy's getting married. It's all over J section.
James? Getting married? I don't believe it. To whom?
Well, I don't know that yet. It's classified. But you can believe it. I've got his file right here, for M.
James getting married? I wonder who it could be.
Underneath the mango tree, my honey and me.
Who is that? Stay where you are.
I can assure you my intentions are strictly honorable. What's your name?
Ryder.
Ryder what?
Honey Ryder. What's so funny about it?
Nothing. It's a very pretty name.
What's your name?
James. How do you feel?
Sleepy. It's almost time for dinner. We don't want to keep the doctor waiting, do we?
Well, that would never do. You ready, honey?
I suppose so.
You're doing fine. Am I properly dressed for the occasion?
Quite suitable.
Suitable for what?
Did he say who it is? No luck. Who do you think? It could be this Russian ballerina. Now, she promised to defect if James Bond would give her political asylum.
She was actually working for Spectre, wasn't she? Assigned to seduce 007.
A rather choice assignment, eh?
You like it?
Yes. It does rather suit you.
I will save everything else for England.
It is 4 o'clock, you know.
This is not Kulturni in the afternoon?
Tanya. We better get dressed now.
Why?
It's almost 6.
So?
Well, it's tea time.
Your James certainly does know how to treat a lady.
I want the truth.
James, you're hurting
I'll
me.
do worse than that if you don't tell me. You're doing this under orders, I know. What are they?
I don't know what you mean.
Liar!
Does James Bond usually hit his women?
Oh, no. Sometimes they hit each other. To the victor belongs the spy and all that sort of thing. I rather doubt that either of those two are going to marry James Bond.
What about the one who was Goldfinger's pilot?
I must be dreaming.
I'm strictly the outdoor type.
I'd like to think you're not in all of this caper.
Skip it. I'm not interested. Let's go.
What would it take for you to see things my way?
A lot more than you've got.
How do you know?
I don't want to know.
Isn't it customary to grant a condemned man his last request?
You've asked for this.
Actually, I don't think James would dare marry a girl who could twist him around her little finger.
Get up.
Certainly. Yeah. Now let's both play.
Station WEBS brings you the latest in world news. Washington. At the White House this afternoon, the president said he was entirely satisfied.
And that makes 2 of us. Oh, it's lost its chill.
Oh, why,
Sorry, there's another in the fridge.
Who needs it?
My dear girl, there are some things that just aren't done. Such as drinking Dom Perignon 53 above a temperature of 38 degrees Fahrenheit.
The perfect gentleman.
Oh, Mr. Bond, I was thinking, why don't you collect me at my apartment?
But, what's that? Dinner? No, look, I'm sorry. I can't. Something big's come up.
It's lovely up here in the mountains. Nice and cool.
Well, how about breakfast?
All right. Not too early. You leave the Port Royal Road out of Kingston, then along the Windward Road, until you get to the cement factory. Then you turn left. Follow the road up the hill, down the other side, and 2 miles further on the left, Magenta Drive 2 or 3. I'll be waiting for you.
I think they were on their way to a funeral. Madame, I've come to offer my sincere condolences. My dear Colonel Bouvard, I don't think you should have opened that car door by yourself.
He'd never strike a girl who was wearing glasses.
Morning, ladies. M in?
Good morning, Q. Is he expecting you?
Yes. Another rush job for 007.
It's awfully small.
And awfully dangerous.
Of all the women that are seeking James Bond, this woman is potentially more dangerous to him than all the rest combined.
Can't you see it? Bond and I together. The producers must know that.
Well, it's out of their hands now. Bond is in Japan.
First, you train hard and quickly to become a ninja, like us. Second, to give you extra special cover, you take a wife. Regretfully impossible.
Who? Who? Who could it be?
Domino, the girl he met during Operation Thunderball.
Domino was a very small fish in a very big pond.
Sit down. Now turn over.
Strange girl, Domino. Every time James opened his mouth, she put her foot in it.
It's the first time I've tasted women. They're rather good.
You're the only man to ever make me cry. Varga's behind you.
Really?
He must have followed us.
I think he got the point.
Well, she did save his life. Perhaps he feels grateful to her.
James Bond? If James were the grateful type, I'd be married to him and the mother of his 12 children.
You look surprised. I thought you were expecting me.
So you're Tatiana Romanova.
My friends call me Tanya.
Mine call me James Bond. Well, now that we've been properly introduced.
Careful. Guns upset me.
I'm sorry. I'm a bit upset myself.
You look just like your photograph.
You're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen.
Thank you. But I think my mouth is too big.
No, it's the right size. For me, that is. Yes. Is it here?
What?
The decoding machine, Lecter.
Must we talk about it now?
Or is it at the Russian consulate? Now what are you looking for?
The scar. Souvenir from another jealous woman?
Yes. But I haven't turned my back on one since. Excuse me.
What?
Give me my shirt, will you?
What's going on?
I have to make a phone call.
But we haven't eaten yet. I'm starving.
No, gratitude is not a word that one could associate with James Bond.
How about Fiona?
Fiona, the plump, pushy one?
Will you sit me up, please?
No wonder you can get dressed up quickly. On the way, we can have a little talk. You may find it interesting. Come on.
I'm coming. I hate to think I'm going to miss anything. And now we can go somewhere for an interesting talk.
Friends of yours, no doubt. Come in.
You dressed quickly, too. I didn't see that gun in the mirror.
Not that it matters, but that was under the pillow all the time. My dear girl, don't flatter yourself. What I did this evening was for king and country.
But of course, I forgot your ego, Mr. Bond. James Bond, who only has to make love to a woman, and she starts to hear heavenly choir singing.
Do you come here often?
It's no good you trying to escape, Mr. Bond.
I don't want to escape. Strange as it may seem, I've grown accustomed to your face. Do you mind if my friend sits this one out? She's just dead.
Poor girl. She saved the last dance for James. James is certainly murder on women. But my big concern is with the ones that are still alive.
Somewhere, in another part of London, this woman also shares Moneypenny's concern. A woman of ruthless ambition, headed toward a single goal.
The women in his new film, You Only Live Twice.
Yes, my dear.
I want to see them. I must find out if what I heard is true.
Okay. You Only Live Twice, 462, take 2.
The last time someone gave me a massage was in Hong Kong. But unfortunately, I had to cut it short. We were rudely interrupted by a couple of gunmen. So, we never got round to finishing it.
This time you shall finish it.
Aki.
No one will disturb you tonight.
Enough. It can't possibly be her. They wouldn't choose her instead of me.
Please, don't get excited.
Now, what's a nice girl like you doing in a place like this?
This girl plays the part of Helga Brandt.
I have a confession to make.
What?
Actually, I'm a spy.
I know that.
Well, I've stolen a Satter's new process for making monosodium glutamate. And, well, it's worth $300,000.
So?
Well, I'll split it with you if you'll get me out of here and back to Tokyo.
That's a nice offer.
How about it?
I'm afraid not.
Her name is Kissy Suzuki, just a plain Japanese fishing girl.
May I rest a moment?
Surely.
Fool. Do you think you can pamper me so easily?
If you'll calm yourself, my dear, there's another woman we must not overlook. Miss
Moneypenny, aren't you forgetting someone? Rosa Klebb.
Donald Grant, convicted murderer, escaped Dartmoor prison in 1960, recruited in Tangier in 1962. Excellent. Where is he now?
At the lake. Bring him to my office, will you?
Take me to the lake.
Through the training area. This Grant's one of the best men we've ever had. Homicidal paranoic, superb material. Though his methods were a little crude, his response to our training and indoctrination has been remarkable.
Call him.
Grant!
My dear, his taste in women may be peculiar, but I doubt if it ever becomes that peculiar.
He seems fit enough.
That's the way I'd like to see all of his girls get their kicks.
Poor 007. Women are always either trying to kiss him or to kill him.
Sometimes both.
Oh,
Forgive me.
why do you always wear that thing?
I have a slight inferiority complex. Where was I? Oh, yes. Shocking.
There he is in Japan. And I just know that he's gotten himself into hot water with some woman.
Don't get the soap in my eye, will you?
I suppose you know what it is about you that fascinates them. It's the hair on your chest. Japanese men all have beautiful bare skin.
Japanese proverbs say, bird never make nest in bare tree.
Moneypenny, what a delightful surprise. Oh, you don't often come and visit me.
Oh, thank you, Q. You obviously know much more about this than I do. Do you know who the girl is?
Haven't a clue, Moneypenny, haven't a clue.
Well, can you tell me anything?
Well, I can only tell you that I've spent weeks working on this Aston Martin, trying to get it back into working order. I can't imagine what 007 does to leave a car in this condition. Well, it's not only the cars he destroys either, it's everything in them. I particularly asked him to return these homing devices. He hands them around as though they were book matches.
And you owe me $1 million.
I owe each of you $1 million. In gold bullion.
So pay.
Gentlemen, you can have the $1 million today. Or 10 millions tomorrow.
Did you say 10 million?
As soon as my bank opens, in the morning.
Banks don't open on Sunday.
This is my bank. The gold depository at Fort Knox, gentlemen. In its vaults are $15 billion. The entire gold supply of the United States.
Knock off Fort Knox.
Got a key or something? Of a kind. There are 35,000 troops stationed around there.
Look, the joint is bomb-proof, electrified.
Pussy.
now, Mr. Bond? I thought you were resting in your quarters.
Oh, they are delightful, but it's much too nice to stay indoors. I ran into Miss Galore, and she suggested that we join you.
Mr. Solo, Mr. Bond, another of my distinguished guests.
Hello. Leaving us so soon, Mr. Solo?
Unfortunately, he has a pressing engagement.
Yeah. I'd like to get started, Goldfinger. Boy.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
My plane will get you to New York on time. With your excess luggage.
Allow me.
Are you blind or something? You missed the turn.
Forgive me, Mr. Bond, but I must arrange to separate my gold from the late Mr. Solo.
As you said, he had a pressing engagement.
My pride and joy. I remember the day I issued this to 007. Press that button there. Now she comes. An ordinary tin of talcum powder. Inside, a tear gas cartridge. That goes in the case against the side here like that. It's magnetized so it won't fall. Shut the case. Now, normally to open a case like that, you move the catches to the side. If you do, the cartridge will explode in your face. Now, to stop the cartridge exploding, turn the catches horizontally. Now you try it.
Turn the catches.
Put your hand back in your pockets. Keep them there. look at it now. And to add insult to injury, 007 gets all the credit, and I get a nasty memo from M informing me that my department's going over budget.
Well, I'm sure M understands. Didn't he say anything to you about James and a woman?
My dear girl, James Bond's women are none of my affair. Unless, of course, they're trying to kill him.
You would like Bond dead because he tries to make love to your woman?
Because he is Bond, and as an enemy of Spectre, should be killed.
Mark! When the time is right, he will be killed. Paul! I shall kill him.
Kill James Bond. Kill him. This is the cherished ambition of every criminal mastermind in the world.
There might even be a place for you with Spectre. Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, Extortion. The 4 great cornerstones of power, headed by the greatest brains in the world.
Correction. Criminal brains.
Choose your next witticism carefully, Mr. Bond. It may be your last.
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Drop it, Professor, and behind you. Sit down. It's funny, I thought you'd turn up sooner or later.
Very clever, Mr. Bond.
Who are you working for, Professor?
Well, you might as well know, as you won't live to use the information. I'm working for...
Mr. Smith & Wesson. And you've had your 6. It's very dangerous to fire guns in planes. I even had to warn Pussy about it. By the way, where is she?
At the moment, she's where she ought to be, at the controls.
Pussy.
What happened? Where's Goldfinger?
Playing his golden harp.
I will get James Bond. I must be the first with him. Now show me more.
Why do Chinese girls taste different from all other girls?
You think we're better, huh?
No, just different. Like Peking duck is different from Russian caviar, but I love them both.
Darling, I give you very best duck.
Well, that'd be lovely. We have had some interesting times together, Ling. I'd be sorry to go.
I'm awfully sorry to leave you, but I have to get off. I'm so worried about James.
Oh, nonsense, Moneypenny. He's indestructible. I wish I could say the same thing about my equipment. Just look at this. We had to dredge this up from the ocean floor. After 007 had simply discarded it. Now, that's precisely the sort of thing I'm talking about. Just look at it. Worthless. Now, that's the equipment I'm sending him in Japan. I'm quite positive I'll never see that again.
I have much curiosity, boy son. What is little Nellie?
Oh, she's a wonderful girl. Very small. She's quite fast. And she can do anything. Just your type.
Strange things, Q. Are they yours?
No, they were sent to me by Tiger Tanaka, head of the Japanese Secret Service. Your 007 will undoubtedly be using some of this equipment. Look, let me show you. Now, you see that egg? Now, watch. Nasty, eh? You know, an odd mixture of the very modern and the very primitive. You know, some of these weapons have been in existence for centuries. Now, this is used for wall scaling, and these for weapons. Now, see these discs? Now, what? Here, boys, give the lady a demonstration. On the other hand, these rocket guns are right up to the minute. Extremely powerful. Now, they have a miniature of the same weapon. Fits into a cigarette. I wish I'd thought of that. 007 will be well armed, you can be sure of that. Besides, it doesn't do any good to worry, does it? After all, we're here, and James Bond's in Japan.
A car nearby.
Oh, where do you suggest we go?
I know a quiet hotel.
Stand back.
Launch time is now T minus 90 minutes and counting.
Astronauts to launching pad immediately. Crews stand by on gantry. Crews stand by on gantry.
Stop that astronaut. Bring him to me. Stop that astronaut.
James Bond, the man who has faced death in every part of the world, is in Japan and face to face with his arch enemy, the notorious #1 of Spectre.
James Bond, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ernst Stavro Blofeld. I shall look forward personally to exterminating you, Mr. Bond. This is the price of failure, Mr. Bond. You only live twice, Mr. Bond.
James Bond in Japan, facing death, and a fate worse than death. Do you, James Bond, take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife, to love, honor, and obey?
No, they can't do this. I was to be the first to marry him, an actress of my talent and beauty. They promised that I was to be his wife in the next production on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
There was never a choice. It had to be this way. James Bond is too much for one woman.
But the music is going to go on all night anyhow. Enough to drive you wild.
Yeah.
Do you like wild things, Mr. Bond, James Bond?
Wild. You should be locked up in a cage.
This bed feels like a cage. All these bars. Do you think I'll be